Sometimes a bad Star Trek episode is one we're still incredibly happy that it exists. I'm Captain Kirk. I'm Captain Kirk. I'm Captain Kirk. I'm not interested in waking anyone up, so I can't commit to an accurate impression of Shatner's finest ever acting. One of the most referenced episodes among fans, a gleeful sneer we can all have at the Shatnerian school of acting on display in this incredibly silly, inane program. So, I don't think The Enemy Within is very good, but my god, have me and other friends who are fans of the show gotten a lot of fun out of this. Referencing it in other circumstances, or just having a non-serious ball when watching it, The Enemy Within has brought a lot of joy into my life. For a long time I wanted to create an obvious parody of this episode. I liked the idea of having some sketch show, a regular cast, scenes of everyone hanging out and talking, introducing the episode prior to the sketches beginning, showing off an instantaneous matter transporter, like those in Star Trek, which unknowingly screws up and creates a wicked double of one of the cast, like in this episode. In between sketches, like some SCTV gag, we'd have that cast member's evil double slouching around, looking all wild and over the top, as evil Kirk does in this episode, complete with the iconic screaming scene, looking around, looking overly evil and sinister, slouching shoulders and looking around way too much. To anyone who is familiar anyway, to anyone watching who is familiar anyway, it would be such an obvious Enemy Within parody that they would love it, no subtlety required, just so much love for the original episode that a direct, unclever parody is instantaneous, intrinsic gold somehow. The funniest applications of that Season 1 In Danger music, it playing as over-the-top Shatner does his evil thing, it is hard to take seriously and makes the moment seem sillier since we are evidently supposed to feel some tension during those moments. And I also find it amazing that in all these series, novels, and role-playing game sourcebooks, no one has ever bothered to name that stupid dressed-up dog, which you also see having a cranky double in this episode. It is currently known as a Alpha 177 canine in lieu of anything else to identify it as. Bring them back in CGI so that I can complain about them ruining that species too. They ruined everything else, they may as well ruin this little guy too. I mean, what have we got to lose? Star Trek has been mutilated, defiled, and hacked into pieces by a smug, preferably terminally ill, millennial bloc who like the idea of nerd chic almost in a hack Big Bang Theory sense, and the idea that Star Trek was apparently a progressive show at one time, compared to the rest of the television landscape, sure, but that wasn't saying much then, at all. And also with tarnishing and destroying something that meant so much to insular, introverted males, because bitterness at males is one thing, but going after jocks is too difficult, so we'll go after the geekier types instead, ruin everything they love, because we're bitter at their happiness, their assurance of life satisfaction despite not caring what others think of them. And social media addled millennials, I'm born in 96, I'm kind of one of you, don't tell me I don't know, are cursed with only caring about perception, nothing more, nothing less than that, and so they hate the socially secure and ambivalent nerd types, actual nerd types, with a passion. To be honest, I will shamelessly gatekeep these kinds of shows and media for a sort of introverted geek contingent, because if you aren't one of these, one of us, you don't see the appeal. These aren't for you. These aren't for showing off personality traits which probably don't even exist to other people on social media or any other societal context. They are all some of us fucking have. So I sincerely believe that unless you are a secure and convicted drifter from the banal norms of our society, you don't get Star Trek, don't deserve it, and don't even deserve to be happy at all, really. These types have been trying to encourage a whole block of the culture to basically off themselves for nearly 10 years now, so if negative things happen to them, forgive me for feeling next to nothing for them, then maybe you can scorn me for sneering at it, which I probably would, just out of bitter revenge. You have to at least give me that, though. Okay, there's been a transporter malfunction, and aggressive AOD is taking over. I'll fuse myself back together, and then we'll continue this retrospective. Oh, this will be painful going forward.